Hello, my people. I am KK, a farmer, a reader, a practical politician, and a community leader. This is my leadership series, so join me today as I share my boko-haram story with the world. So, my boko-haram story started as this. I still remember when I was an undergraduate. I was in my final year in the university. This was in 2014, and the VC of my school then Dr. Zarwa, that was his name, he just parked in front of the hostel in a rush, like in some GTA movie, and said the school is shut down till further notice. We had to run for our dear lives. Now, a lot of the students ran out in different directions. Some, because of the fear, were able to escape in time. Some that didn't get the information on time were trapped in Mubi. And this school is Adamawa State University, Mubi. It was an experience that I would never forget. And at that time, His Excellency GoodLuck Jonathan was still the President of Nigeria. Now, we heard a lot of things, a lot of lies, saying His Excellency GoodLuck Jonathan could not protect us, was the one killing Nigerians, and was the one paying for these terrorists to come into the country and distort everything that was happening to us. As a young man, I was feeling very pained because I know I had left school for more than, that was the third time or fourth time. Indefinitely, we just leave. So a program that was supposed to run for 4 years, I ended up running about 6 to 7 years for. Now, what I want people, Nigerians, to look at is that destabilization has become a tool for these evil people to discredit a government. I want to bring our attention to 2015. Prior to 2015, in 2014, we realized that there were cases of boko-haram bombings in different places, in Maiduguri, in the northeast, for instance, and in other places, Yobe, it was. But then in Adamawa State, there was no area that had that. Except until the time, let me remind us of these actual timelines. Nigerians, we are smart people. We are capable of thinking. Now, these politicians think they can come use our brains, pick our brains, and let us go like they call us chickens and guinea corn. So when they spray some guinea corn, they think that we'll run over about those guinea corn and forget what they have done to us. But this is the case. Atiku, His Excellency Abubakar, Atiku Abubakar, His Excellency, I beg your pardon, decamped from PDP to APC in 2014. Then what happened? Gentlemen and ladies, Mubi was attacked. In fact, Michika axis, coming up Michika axis down to Mubi, Marabang, Mubi, to Hong, to Gombe, all these places were affected. And that was because the leader of PDP in Adamawa State, which we were expecting to be as His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, had defected to the APC, even being an active member of the PDP because of his political ambition. And this is why all of them don't stand a grain of rice compared to His Excellency GoodLuck Jonathan. Because these people are willing to do whatever it takes to destroy Nigeria. But His Excellency GoodLuck Jonathan said one thing. He said, the blood of no Nigerian is worth his ambition. So let me digress a little bit and talk about the Chibok girls. Now, the governor at the time claims that the protection of the student, a secondary school student, a state-owned secondary school, was not, he didn't have control to take care of them, were not his responsibility. What a constitutional lie. Because this is fact. As the CSO, the governor of the state is the CSO, the chief security officer of the state. So explain to me how you relegate your responsibility and you're pointing out finger. Now let us bring this back to today's experience. Now, Tulumbu is the president of Nigeria presently, and they are still mass killing, kidnappings in their droves. And yet nobody has come to point fingers at Tulumbu right now and say Tulumbu is the cause of all of this. But instead, they are quiet. Hypocrites, all of them. Hypocrites. From our leaders, all in the north that has been silent, to the religious leaders. In fact, the Christian and Muslim, all of them are not worth nothing. So let me go back to the story of how I escaped. I was able to escape through federal college. They call it Polytechnic, Federal Polytechnic Mubi. I beg your pardon. On leaving there, a good friend of mine called me, and she told me, she said, we had run away and left them in school. Those were ladies, and they wanted us to come back for them because everybody was running for his dear life. I decided to go back because I was quite aware they were dear to me, so I went back. They were good friends of mine. So on leaving the school, the university, passing through the Federal Polytechnic, our hopes was that the Chief of Defense Staff, Alex Birthday, may so rest in peace, whose village was in Mubi North local government area, now which is at Vimtim. So when we ran away, we were expecting to run towards Vimtim, only to go and to our surprise and dismay, find out that Vimtim was in chaos, was in disarray, just like the town of Mubi. The Air Force, which were in charge of that area for the security, had burnt down their vehicles, and by themselves, it was not a boko-haram attack. I was in Vimtim at the time with a good number of my friends. If you have a superior argument, if you feel you are there, come out and tell me that you are there. But I was there. I'm not telling you what somebody told me. I'm telling you what I saw, what I experienced. Now from Vimtim, we began to run away, together with the Air Force men and the soldiers, the armed men, which were even collecting civilians' raiments, clothing, at gunpoint. Point a gun at you, give me your clothes. This is Nigeria. So if every hand's fingers were pointing at His Excellency GoodLuck Jonathan, I'm sure His Excellency GoodLuck Jonathan did not tell anybody not to fire a shot. But that is always what they say. So this whole thing, this whole security chaos matter that we have here is to show you the level that people are willing to go through, the length they are willing to go through to sell their people, to kill their people just to get power. And this same pattern is repeating itself again in 2025, pre-2025 right now. This is what we are seeing in Jos, in Gombe, in Benue. Is all a bit to destabilize the middle belt. And if the middle belt is destabilized, now there would not be an organized system for election to take place. So that is Tulumbu and the evil APC's administration's plan to have us, their strategy to keep us in this place where they can come and have a revolt. But I am saying here, Nigerians, we are smart and we can look through these things. And I'm saying emphatically, Tulumbu must go. I am saying it. Tulumbu must go. APC must go. And like I always say, I am not a party to this merger. Because it is still, let me remind us, it's still the faction of the APC, the CPC, and the NNPP. And the NNPP, I'm saying it, and the NNPP, anybody like I say who has a superior argument can come out and say something. They set up and destroyed our people, the northern region of Nigeria, and the middle belt, unfortunately, right now. And then they claim and say that the governor is saying nothing. How can they intervene? Now, this is a case where I would say that everybody in that sector, Atiku Abubakar, His Excellency, and the rest of them, all of them, Erufai, and the gang, all of them, so they are all products and all beneficiaries of the USAID. Which also reminds me, let all Nigerians please be very vigilant for the 2nd of May 2025. Oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait. Oh my God, I can't wait. The secrets will be out now. Where criminals are having a field day at control of our nation. We can see it clearly. And of course, all the secrets of how they killed Nigerians, fundings that were going to them on those terrorist organizations that they used to maim our people. So we'll see it through USAID. We'll see it. So, on my journeys going to Cameroon, we spent about 18 days trying to escape. And quite unfortunately, like I always say, the problem of Nigeria is actually its armed forces. The armed forces, while the civilians were fleeing away in Mubi, they were helicopters flying low, fighter jets shooting and trying to destroy civilians. Firing at civilians. I lost my phone in that process because I thought I saw the helicopter. I thought we were safe. Let's walk in queue and go where we are going to. Try to escape to Cameroon. But soldiers in airplane were firing at us civilians, Nigerians trying to escape. Now, we spent a number of nights in the bush. We were reduced to eating like pigs. Of course, we were eating grains. During the time, beans was still there. They already sprayed the beans. We ate beans with chemicals. As far as we had stomach pain, the things we had to live with, we ate spear grass for sugar. For 18 days, on reaching Cameroon, we realized that our soldiers, our armed forces, still with us, were all disarmed and made to sit on the ground. Just like the common civilians. In fact, they were treated more like criminal, like the Boko-Haram insurgents than as men trying to run for their life because it was embarrassing. Now, Boko-Haram soldiers went and intercepted, Cameroonian soldiers went and intercepted the Boko Haram insurgents on their way to Cameroon, chasing Nigerians into Cameroon. We were able to get in, but they were able to repel the Boko Haram insurgents out of Cameroon. Yeah, the Cameroonian soldiers were able to do that. While we were there, the ambassador of Nigeria to Cameroon made a call. I don't know if His Excellency GoodLuck Jonathan is aware of this, but the ambassador of Cameroon, if you can remember, at the time, he was, I think, Abayomi Gabriel. The ambassador Abayomi Gabriel was the ambassador of Nigeria to Cameroon. He called the Nigerian, the Cameroonian commissioner and told him that there was nothing wrong in Nigeria and that we should be sent back. As a student and other students with me, there we had better treatments. My people were loaded in trucks like cows. Cows have better treatment. We were loaded at that's our students. Standing, we stood for 3 days that journey took. We go to one of the local governments there in Cameroon or province where we spent the night, and they didn't even take us through the major city. They took us through the bush parts because they didn't even want us. I don't believe they wanted us to see through their town. And they brought us to somewhere in Adamawa State where we were able to connect at the border to our state, and we found ourselves in Yola. This is my own incidents. Now, there are other people who trekked all the way for over 200 kilometers from Mubi to Yola. Some trekked from Hong to Yola. So many IDPs, so many ladies that got abused because of that. So many people sleeping on the streets. Because anytime this happens, there are a lot of things that happen. Atiku now takes advantage of this and comes and gives his school. Okay, you guys can come and graduate in my school. After you have destroyed our school for your own political gain. No, this is highly unacceptable. Nigerians must remember this and must never forget that the interest of these people is not bigger than our own interests. That is why we all must come together and say no to these people, and we are saying no to them. And I'm calling on Nigerians, let us not forget. And there's also something I want to talk about. Prior to 2015, I never heard about Bobrisky. But today, since 2015, Bobrisky came out and they cook. And all of a sudden, homosexuals, rainbow people, LGBTQ+, everywhere, men trying to dress like women. In a man's ball, in a man's place where it's supposed to be a man and a woman. In the natural order of things. But this is what the APC government is willing to trade. The APC government is willing to trade our morality, our economy, our sexuality, our knowledge, our culture. They're willing to change everything for what they want. which is what? Power. And power in 2027 is what they would not get. Nigerians must make sure of this. Power in 2027 must come back to the people. Those that want to decamp can decamp. We know why they are decamping. So when you steal money, you are corrupt. You steal from the people. And then when you are to be probed, you decamp. Nigerians, please, let us all take note of all these decampees, because those are the people we must not vote for. Nigeria will prevail. We will make Nigeria great again.